doing?
Click the
Hello, both sides of the conversation family. We welcome you to this virtual space crafted especially for you. My name is Jada Curry, and I'm both sides of the conversation's marketing director and graphics design specialist. I want to take some time to ground us all as a community into this space we are about to open up in. So let's go through our community standards. Both sides of the conversation is providing a safe and honest space for open conversation. So we ask that you all be respectful of that. We also ask that you be respectful of each panelist, host, and participant. We do encourage healthy debates and conversations. Don't personalize anything with anyone. This includes name calling, bullying, trolling, or shaming. This will not be tolerated. Your perspective is yours. It is not a prescription. You do not have to agree, but show respect. These community standards apply to all of our live shows and any virtual spaces that we hold on social media, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We want to make sure that we're caring for each other as a community. This is our priority in all of our endeavors as both sides of the conversation. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's show and continue to stay in touch with us via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or all of them. All right, thank you for listening and see you soon.
Welcome to Both Sides of the Conversation. I'm Tony Rochelle, your favorite co-host. Today is Tuesday, so you know what that means. We have our Hidden Gem show tonight. So y'all know that means that this is the segment where we highlight our Black and Brown businesses as well as community folks that's doing positive things and making an impact in our community. We want to give a huge shout out to the Be Magic for the backpack giveaway. Community showed up, and our babies will be ready and be great and ready for this school year. All right, y'all know how we do it. With that being said, we're going to jump into our community announcements and all these amazing events that's going on around the Bay. Now, one thing about Both Sides of the Conversation, we listen to y'all. And I know y'all was tired of hearing John's voice with them announcements and what's going on. So I got somebody in the building that got my back tonight. Okay, so I want to introduce my sister from another mother, Shawnee B. She's here to help me with the announcements today.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see you guys. World announcements by Both Sides of the Conversation. Deadly fire at a Coptic church in Cairo, Egypt. A fire ripped through a packed Coptic Orthodox church during morning service in Egypt capital on Sunday, quickly filling it with black smoke and killing 40 worshipers, including 15 children. Actress Anne Hatch has passed away. She was an Emmy-winning film, TV actor, and she died of injuries due to a fiery car crash in Los Angeles. She was 53 years old. Thousands of Capri Sun cases recalled over potential cleaning solution. Kraft has announced a recall on more than 5,000 cases of Capri Suns due to a possible contamination. This voluntary recall comes after the company announced the potential contamination affecting approximately 5,760 Capri Sun cases of its wild cherry flavor. The company said that the diluted cleaning solution was inadvertently introduced to the production line at one of the factories. Next, we have our community events. What's going on in the neighborhoods? Community and Business Mixer, Thursday, August 18th from 6 to 8 p.m., 998 Valencia Street in San Francisco. Grand opening of Rome's Kitchen, put the soul in Italian food. That sounds good. Indifferent. Friday, August 19th from 3 to 8 p.m., 1196 Evans Avenue in San Francisco. Love 'em Back to Life presents Love Them Back to Life present a back to school revival and backpack giveaway Friday, August 19th at 7 p.m. at Antioch Christian Church Center. That's 1360 East Trail Gals Road in Antioch, California. Allen Temple Virtual Health Fair, Racism, a Public Health Crisis, which will be Saturday, August 20th. You have to register, and there is a link, http://tib.y/3jvkyr. Western Edition Music Festival, Jazz and Blues, Sunday, August 20th at the historic Fillmore District, Fillmore Street, San Francisco, Gary to Turk. RSVP at www.whamfestsf.com. Open house mural dedication for Lieutenant Governor installations, Thursday, August 25th from 5 to 6:30 p.m. at the Masonic Building. That's 281 Masonic Street in San Francisco. RSVP at rsvp.ucfca.edu. Meet and greet with the Honorable Brooke Jenkins, District Attorney, City and County of San Francisco, Thursday, August 25th from 5:30 to 7:30, Bayview Opera House, 4705 3rd Street in San Francisco, California. Black Futures Artists in Residence Program. Open call for new applicants. Deadline is August 26th. To apply, visit www.zaccho.org. Patrol Hill Family Day on the Green will be Saturday, August 27th from 11 to 6 p.m. And that's at 801 Arkansas Street in San Francisco, California. The Biology of Stress and Trauma, the Biocultural Journey to Healing will be Saturday, August 27th from 10 to 1 p.m. online via Zoom. To purchase tickets, visit Eventbrite. 2022 Nonprofit Boot Camp, Tuesday, August 30th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Ruth William Memorial Theater, 4705 3rd Street, San Francisco, California. Register at www.BayviewOperaHouseBVOH.org. San Francisco Black Cowboy Family Day Parade and Festival will be Saturday, September 3rd. Parade is from 9 a.m. at Gilman Park. The festival will be at 1 p.m. at the Bayview Opera House. For more information, contact Reverend Birch at 415-240-0313. King of the City Softball Tournament, Sunday, September 4th at 10 a.m., Gilman Park, 903 Gilman Avenue in San Francisco. A lot of announcements. It's a lot going on in the community. Young Black Climate Leaders. Applicants are being accepted for the new youth-led YBCL Future Funds. Black leaders between the ages of 18 and 28 are encouraged to apply for the 3-tier of funding between $1,500 and $6,500 to support their work at the intersection of social justice and climate. For more information, email ybcl@movementstrategy.org. San Francisco
Hey, Shawnee, put yourself off mute. You're muted.
I've been muted that whole time.
We couldn't hear you. But that's how we do it at both sides of the conversation. We make accidents and we keep it pushing, community. So go ahead and finish, Shawnee.
Okay. Well, I was given our current events and I was doing donate to Uncle Stank's GoFundMe, which is on our page, both sides of the conversation page. And the GoFundMe is www.gofundme.com, support of James Spinegal, aka Uncle Stank. And let me go back a little bit. I discussed our world announcement, the deadly fire in Coptic church in Cairo, Egypt. There was a fire that ripped through the church during the morning service in Egypt's capital on Sunday, quickly filling with thick smoke and killing 41 worshipers, including 15 children. Also, actress Anne Hitch has died. She was an Emmy-winning film and television actor. She died of injuries from a fiery car crash in Los Angeles. She was 53 years old. And also, thousands of Capri Suns have been recalled due to potential cleaning solution. Kraft has announced a recall of 5,000 cases of the Capri Suns due to potential contamination. The voluntary recall comes after the company announced that the potential contamination affected approximately 5,760 Capri Sun cases and its wild cherry flavor. The company said that the diluted cleaning solution was inadvertently introduced to the production line at one of its factories. And then we go into our community events, and we have a lot of them. Community and Business Mixer will be on Thursday, August 18th.
Okay, so we heard all that part. So thank you so much, Shawnee. Thank you so much for everything that you've done. Y'all look out for my sister. We're going to be having our Sunday conversation coming up soon. And we're going to have the ladies of both sides of the conversation, okay? We might be a little shaky today, but we keep the conversation going around here. So you guys stay tuned. Thank you for the current events. And we'll be sure to get y'all the information in the comments throughout the show. So with that being said, we're going to continue our show. Tonight is our Hidden Gem Tuesday night show, and I'm excited, okay? I'm excited. I'm excited about the kings that's in the building. Ladies, the king showed up for your girl, okay? The number one king, John Henry, is not here tonight because he had the nerves to take a vacation for his birthday, y'all. So we love our CEO. We wishing him a happy birthday. And I'm holding it down tonight, community. So with that being said, I'm going to bring up our hidden gem for tonight. This brother is doing great things in the community. Mr. Terrell Muhammad, and he going to bring his kings up. So come on, Terrell. We're going to bring you up.
Oh man, there we go.
There
What's
we
happening,
go.
Tony?
It's happening. It's not a perfect world, but it's a blessed world. You hear me?
No doubt, no doubt. This is a thankful, thriving Tuesday, so no worries here. Man, I am so thankful for you guys, for both sides of the conversation. Our good brother John leading by example. You know, I feel like I'm at home, you know, because I grew up in the city. I grew up in West Side, right there on Sutter and Broderick. My grandmother and my aunties and them grew up in the Bayview. I went to Marina Middle School. I went to Galileo High School. So, man, I'm at the house right now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, thank you very much for having us. And thank you for asking us to come on and talk about the King's Accountability Group. You know, initially, when we had started the KAG group 3.5 years ago, we literally didn't start off as kings. We literally had 3 or 4 guys that just wanted to be the very best version of ourselves. And we started off just calling ourselves the men's group. And eventually, the men's group evolved into the fellas group. We started adding on additional people to the group, you know, and the goal, Tony, was to really become the very best version of ourselves. You know, growing up in San Francisco, growing up in limited, tough environments, you know, sometimes we get crazy as teenagers and going into college. We haven't found ourselves. But as we grow and mature, then we eventually start to find ourselves in some form or fashion. So hopefully sooner rather than later. Last year, or early last year, we ended up changing and evolving the name to King's Accountability Group. Now, why kings, right? Kings in countries have dominion over the authority of their territory, whatever that may be. And so, as we began building, as we began impacting, as we began adding value to ourselves as well as our families, we decided, look, we really need to up our values and principles. We really need to be better husbands. We really needed to be better business professionals on a very high level, so that not that we're competing, but we are becoming the very best version of ourselves. And so, Tony, I would love for you to bring in the other kings, because they're local, they're regional as well. And then we can kind of get into, you know, conversations about the kings and what we do on a consistent basis, some of the projects that we're involved in as a whole and then individually, because most of the kings that are a part of the group, you have to apply. you have to apply.
You have to apply. So is there some type of initiation that they got to go through? Like, because when I heard the Kings was coming on the show, I said, is it the King of Comedies?
No.
So do you have to go to some type of initiation? How do you determine who's a king that can be on this platform?
No, that's a great question. And in fact, the reality of being a king is you come in as you are, but you come in as a person of value that is looking to impact the lives of others, first, first in your family and yourself, and then as a business, if you own your own business or if you're part of a company, look, you got to be the very best version of yourself. So, I want to talk about how we started with CB because he was one of the original 4 people that helped us kind of get out of the gate. And I'm happy to see that he was able to join us tonight. Brother CB.
Good evening. Good evening. What's happening? I'm really excited, Pretty Tony, for you inviting us this evening. But yeah, as Terrell said, 3.5 years ago, it was 3 or 4 of us. And I'll tell you where we initially had the motivation, because I got to give a shout out to this man. The initial motivation that came out, that started this really, was from the hip hop preacher, Eric Thomas. He's the #1 motivational speaker on the planet. And he instilled certain things in us to go towards our goals, execute our goals, and what we call extreme execution. And so that was kind of like the foundation of our thought process as we built up King's Accountability Group. And I think the main goal around it was each and every one of us have goals, aspirations. We all have businesses. We all have families. And at times, we're not hitting those goals. At times, we fall short. No one's perfect. Understand that. But when you have like-minded individuals surrounding you, when you do fall, you fall a foot, not a mile down. And you raised up again to continue on your journey. Today is all about that journey. So that was the main part or reason why we actually came together initially.
Absolutely.
So that sounds like a brotherhood. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, 100%. And Tony, CB, can you tell the people exactly what you do today?
What I do today, I'm actually an account director for a major global telecommunications company. Basically, I help retail enterprises have the ability to reach everywhere, to interconnect everyone, and to integrate anything on the planet.
There you go. Tony, the skill set of many of our kings is very, very vast, and maybe we can touch on this very shortly. But again, we started off as 4. Mm-hmm. We're literally up to 55 people.
Wow.
With a waiting list of 10 to 15 people that is currently waiting to come on in, right? Yeah. So the reality is our goal is not to compete among the brotherhood. Mm-hmm. Our goal is to become the very best version of ourselves. Now, let me bring in the next king, because I've known him for the last 15 years as well, and that is Clifton. Clifton, I've known for the last couple years, and he has built an internet machine, but he's also one of the most professional, talented individuals in the business. Brother Cliff, can you share a little bit about yourself and then kind of share where are you a part of the Kings?
Yeah, thank you very much, Terrell. Appreciate that. And Tony, thank you very much for having us on. So my name is Clifton Mbanagu. I own Clifton Creative Web, which is a web development and web design company. And I joined the Kings on request from Terrell. I was very honored to be a part of this group. And I would say, the main reason is that for a lot of men, even those that are ambitious and chasing goals, a lot of times you're doing that in isolation. And when you're doing it in isolation, what ends up happening is when you don't meet your goals or if you fall short, there's nobody there to hold you accountable. You're not reporting to anybody. Even if you're a high achiever, you will still achieve less and maybe below your potential than you would if you had some real brothers that can hold you accountable, people that you can report to and you can bounce ideas off of. So even the most successful person who's operating by themselves is weaker than a group of men who are operating in unison, who are operating together. And so I wanted to be a part of that group. And it was important that I could be a part in such a way that I could contribute, sharing my experiences, what I've experienced in life and in business with people. But also I've benefited largely from the group, from every single brother that's in there, every single king that's in there has contributed something that's helped me grow, and the growth has just been exponential.
And Tony, can I say one thing? Clifton is being nice because this is how he is. But
don't be nice, Clifton. We want it all, okay?
but some of his clients are some of our major institutions, including municipal cities around the Bay Area. So when we talk about, look, we all have passion and desire, but the goal is, are you on a winning team that is going to help you have more breakthroughs than breakdowns? Right? So this next king I'm going to bring on is Victor. Victor, I've done real estate business with him and his family, right? And so when you see people of like minds, you should have a filter around you and I to help us really grow and help us push us. Like CB said earlier, it's about accountability. You state your goal. I didn't state it. You did. So if you're going to state a goal, then we're going to hold you accountable. But guess what? We're going to offer support. We're going to offer resources, tools to help you bring on. So let me bring on this real estate mogul, Victor Johnson. Brother Vic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I'm honored to be here on both sides of the conversation. Pretty Tony, thank you for having us. We appreciate you. I came about on the group kind of early on. It was definitely not King's Accountability Group at the time. I was probably one of the first 10 guys maybe in the group. And at that time, we were meeting on Sunday nights. So it wasn't a lot of people who could jump on. But I immediately felt the energy from Terrell when he invited me in, that it was a safe place. It was a safe place to talk. And as Black men, we don't often have that, or we don't have a place where we can talk about our vulnerabilities. We don't want to talk about our failures in business and family and things like that. And I immediately saw that it was a safe place to do that. And as we grew, I also grew. And, one of the things that a friend of mine talks about is, as you grow, your business grows. And so in the time I've been here, being held accountable from some of these other brothers that are doing great things in their communities and their families and their business, you just feel encouraged to push yourself even harder, and we talk about our wins and losses. And, it's not an often time you'll see a group of men, Black men, that are comfortable sharing those type of weaknesses and vulnerabilities in an effort to grow them and make them stronger and better. And so I love being part of this group, and every one of the men on the screen, as well as the other couple dozen, have helped add to the growth of my business and me personally.
Now Vic is being nice too, because he look, Tony, I can put them on blast, right? But here's what I'm saying. These guys are animals and beasts in their field. They operate at a very, very high level, and they don't take weakness for kindness. They embrace it in a way because they're scaling at a level to make a larger impact. Can I bring on somebody else real quick, unless you have any questions?
Listen, this is your world tonight. I appreciate you asking me, gentlemen, because there ain't too many of them out there to ask you. But it's your world. You introduce everybody, and then I got several questions.
Oh, 100%. Well, look, we on both sides of the conversation. So the next brother is I'm really honored because I have seen and run with this young man, brother Rich. We call him Richie Rich because he's like the head of our council. You know, when you're looking for wisdom, when you're looking for street, when you're looking for guidance, when you're looking for boundaries, you need someone in the group that is going to help you and I course correct. And Brother Rich is one of those individuals, and he plays an extreme part in that council. So, Brother Rich, the floor is yours, brother.
Man, I appreciate the humble, soft words introduction, Tyrell. You kind of raised the bar for me. I gotta say, I gotta make the C move right now. But I'm just gonna say, sis to Tony, it's a pleasure to be on the show. John, wherever you at, happy Leo birthday. Have a little cherry juice with your brother, organic. I do a few things, you know what I mean? You can say I'm the jack of all trade, but I got 40 other masters around me, straight kings. So what do I have to do? Great. I just got to be really good at it. So I'm the vice president of the board of Freedom West Homes. I'm on the King's Council for Lion of the Week. I've also stepped up into the role if a brother strays away or we lose track of a brother to go reach him. You know, don't leave a sheep behind. Father, soon to be father again, and soon to be husband. I just want to say, every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. we meet. If you didn't know the time frame, this ain't a convenient call. This is a duty, and duty is love, and love is an obligation. And I've committed myself to this like I would commit myself to any loving relationship. And that was bonded in this group. That wasn't before this group. Before this group, I had an ignorant love. I die for my thing. I'm gonna go all the way. That's an ignorant love. It's still love, but it's a lost love. Now I'm loving for life. Now I'm loving to see men grow. Now I'm loving when one of my brothers get his credit score high or lose 10 pounds. Or, brother, I bought my wife flowers. I ain't bought her flowers in 5 years. Every king is, and every week we honor a king. And that king is the Lion of the Week. That means you highlighted yourself. You just did something different for yourself. There's no competition. One brother might just sold $1 million home, but another brother went and forgave a brother or a sister or someone, which he been holding that grudge for 20 years. Which one you think is bigger? The finance or that heart? So just to say, I hope I parted to see y'all. You know what I mean? In that brief introduction of myself, man. I'm still in Fillmore from 1970, still living the same blocks in 77. You know, it is what it is. You can find me outside. I'll be outside. When you see me, spread love, no ego, no hate.
Yeah. See, this is, you know, when you have this type of love, Tony, it's like, it's hard to get too far off. Not that we don't, right? Because like Rich said, we have a squad that goes after our men that are having temporary challenges. Look, we can sometimes figure out when people are having temporary issues. Why? Because the men go silent. They go into okay, let me stop. We go.
That's what I wanted. You going into my question.
Yeah.
Because I want to know who built y'all and where did y'all come from? Because society tells us that Black men can't get along with one another. Society tells us that Black men can't wear pink shirts without being called other names or cry in front of their peers. Yeah. And what this sound like right here, this sound like a sisterhood, but it's a brotherhood.
Oh yeah.
So my questions is that, like, how?
Yeah.
How? Where did the discipline come from? Who made this up and made it popular?
Listen, the discipline came up from Fillmore. The discipline came up from Bayview. The discipline came up from Galileo. The discipline came up from, look, many of us are straight from the block. And we have just matured. We have survived. We have
But how'd you do that though? Because we got brothers on the streets that's disrespectful. Okay, women is trying to find just a boyfriend, not even a husband these days. And then you tell them you got a group of men.
Yeah,
you got a group.
Let me give you something even better. Let me give you a guy, a king who's in our group who's been in juvie over 20 plus times.
Wow.
This dude has ran the streets, was a significant look, I don't know how he survived either. So I'm just going to bring up Brother Terrence Hansher, but we call him T-Top, and most people know him as T-Top in the streets. So Brother T, it's on you, sir.
Yo, I'm gonna start off with my mantra though, man, because I'm structured, disciplined leader that focuses on living a healthy, wealthy, loving lifestyle 365 days of the year. Let's go.
Come on.
Let's go, King. Let's go.
So one of the things for the CAG group, for the Kings group, you know, we built on mantra. So what we say is what we do, and what we don't know, we ask. You know, a lot of things is right there in the group for you. But to go back to kind of my storyline, I grew up in Fillmore District, went through Omega Boys Club, been in and out of juvenile, you know, and then did some adult time as well. And then, you know, at some point you got to make a decision. You got to kind of separate yourself and step out of the shadows. Rather, you're going to lead or you're going to continue to follow. And some people worry about, you know, what people think of them. You can't worry about what people going to think about you. Just like with this group, nobody's worrying about what the next person's thinking. You got a lot of leaders in this group. You got a lot of kind hearts, it's like your network, everything is right there for you. I've been with my company with AT&T 16 years, and I joined the group, I'll say after probably about the 6th or 7th, 8th person in the group, and it definitely helped me scale in my business as far as Living Proof 365, my fitness business. I've been an implemented part of the cohorts for the city EMT program, helping with the youth out there. So we stay active in the community. Also have a mentor group that's built off of the Kings group. And then, you know, we continue to build on that, you know.
Hey,
go ahead.
I gotta say something because right now everybody's trying to figure it out still, right? I can see it in Pretty Tony's eyes. She's trying to figure it out. But let me go ahead and tell you our mission statement. And maybe it'll be real clear. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Here goes our mission statement. I am a king of peace, power, and prosperity, who has chosen a community of other kings over isolation. I deliberately develop and expand my spirit, mind, body, and bag in 3 ways. Number 1, when I don't know, I ask, then do. Number 2, when I don't have, I search and I find. Number 3, when I feel fear, I choose courage and do it anyways. As a result, I'm the best version of myself. I add value to everyone around me, and I inspire other kings to do the same.
Let's go.
Tony, what you're seeing is a structured, organized, accountable organization. We just became a 501c organization just a few weeks ago. But you heard Top say his mantra. Like everybody has some type of mantra or mission statement. And the reason is we're saying, look, you should have a destination of where you're going in life. And how we figure that out will be up to you. But guess what? You now have a board of directors that can help with resources and tools. I mean, look, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, just 5. Now think about if you have 20 or 30 on one call. It like there's no problem that we normally cannot solve within a timely fashion, especially when success is all about speed. Now let me see. Brother Clay, do you have a mantra?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what's yours?
I am a passionate man of God, faith, and action. I am unreasonable in my goals and relentless in my pursuits. I am 100% committed to my commitments. And when I say it and write it, I do it and it's already done. I'm laser focused on building an incredible life of wealth, health, and powerful relationships. I am creating a legacy of greatness that will outlive me.
Love it. Brother Vic, do you have one?
Absolutely. I am committed to owning profitable businesses and properties that make a positive impact on others so that I create a freedom, resources, and legacy that I desire. I am a healthy, happy, giving, loved, responsible, debt-free millionaire business owner.
See, Tony, we're not making this up. It's like it is a struggle sometimes based on where we're at in life, but it's up to you and I to become the best version of ourselves. And the only way that we can do that, like Richie Rich always say, look, I need for you to put a mirror up in front of you and figure out what it is. Because if you're not living the best version of you, then you're not living your purposeful life. So,
Wow. I have my Kleenex right here because I'm real like emotional right now. And I want to tell you, Black men, that I appreciate you. You are essential. You are valued. And you are a king. And I love you. Okay. And so does the world. So does the world. They just don't know it. Now, you talk about all this discipline, and this anyone can answer this. Okay. We moving on to the conversation. You make it sound so easy. You make it sound like you just signed up and you had it all together and you joined this brotherhood and you just got it going on. But what I want to hear is, how did you climb the ladder to feel that confidence? Because that's some big shoes to carry, what you're saying. And it's not easy to wake up and just say, oh, I'm going to be a king and this is what's going to happen. So I need y'all to go a little bit deeper for me. Like, what was the epiphany moment where you said, this is not it for me? This is where I come from, but this is not who I am.
okay, who want to take that?
T-Top.
I'll take, I would say the moment for me was, I could say specifically 1998, when my son was born, and I was in the pursuit of, was I going to continue hustling, playing football, was I going to be a committed father? And at that point, I put all the discipline and energy into being that committed father. Now, for the youngsters that's watching, and for the hustlers and for everybody out there, we all got discipline already, because we can get up early, we can get up and grind, we can pull all-nighters, we can show up to parties, we can do all the stuff we want to do. So all you got to do is put that same energy into something else. If it's something else, if you want to do real estate, if you want to do stocks, if whatever it may be that you want to do, you just got to put that same 100% energy in there, create that mantra, follow that mantra, and get you a good support group. If you got to walk away from some people, if they're your real friends, they're going to be there. Rich, we've been running forever. And when I walked away from some things, you see he's still there, right? That's what I'm talking about. So your brother going to be there regardless what decision you make. So right or wrong, they're going to push you to the right direction.
You also talked about something about, like, and I'm sorry, Victor, I got you.
You all good.
You said something. I was writing everything down because I'm telling you, I'm emotional. I'm gonna cry after this show, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I have 4 brothers. I have 4. I'm the only girl. One of my brothers is in prison for life. Okay. So when I sit here on a platform with all these beautiful Black kings and you transitioned your life, it's emotional, man. You know, and so you said something, somebody said something earlier about there's no jealousy, there's no hate, we congratulate each other. And you also said something that there is a king of the week. Or
Lion of the week.
Lion of the week.
Yeah.
I apologize, King
Rah.
Rich. Rah. Right back at you. But how do you do that? Because I'm gonna tell you, women don't do that. So how you do that?
Tony, can I take this one, brothers?
You got
when
it.
I came into the call, and even some days today, I came in on the call through T-Top. Only knew Tyrell and T-Top. It was 15, 16 brothers then. It was authors, business owners, homeowners, people with real big money, legal money. I work construction. I do good for myself. Got a real career. Changed my life. But I didn't feel like this is for me. But how do you grow if you don't become unreasonable? You don't put yourself in a discomfort, right? You was born, you was inches. Now I'm 6 feet tall. That was a lot of tearing of my bones and flesh being stretched and muscles being developed. Wasn't easy. So when you get an invite to something, you cannot say, man, I'm cool. I'm gonna wait till I'm ready. Come on to church, brother. Oh man, when I get ready. Man, they hiring down there, man. I ain't not right now. How you grow? So every man and woman is gonna have a moment in their life where you're gonna have to get around some people doing real good things, and you're gonna feel a little odd. You might be at the bottom of the totem pole, but you're a part of the pole. You the base now. Like CB said, when you get to the top, if I build brothers up underneath me, I just fall a few feet, not to the bottom, but to the bottom. So, you know, I mean, and it's just a wake up one day and just be tired. You know, you change from frustration, humiliation, or inspiration. You don't change for no other reason. So those things will change a person, man, woman, or child, whatever ethnicity, wherever you come from. So I think every man here had a point, but they just wanted to do it better for themselves.
And I want to add to that too. So it's not easy, Tony. It's definitely not easy. We have moments of weakness where, you know, we're sharing certain things, or we've had brothers on there that like, man, I just didn't come back because, you know, it's just an intimidating group. You know, this guy's doing this guy's doing that. But then when you hear the guy that's, you know, reconnected with his son, or you see a cat that's on the screen with his babies in the background playing, and he's cooking breakfast for the wife, you know, that's how we're pouring back into families through that king, through that man. And, you know, when, again, like I said earlier, when you can see another brother that's comfortable sharing his pains that he's going through, just like you probably are feeling misty and emotional right now, we're feeling that same thing every Sunday. It's a brother that, you know, we need to build up, lift up. And again, when you see that type of environment, ego gets thrown out the window. You'll be a straight jerk to come in there like, forget about that cat going through this. You know, what about my win? Nah, it immediately directs attention to that man who's in a moment of despair and a weakness, and we lift them up. And it's just an innate, natural feeling for us to do that in this group. And I think it's plenty of brothers that will come aboard that after so long, you kind of just feel that energy growing, and you just feel like, I have to contribute and give service back to one of these other kings on here. You know, and that's just what it's about.
Hey, Tony, can I also, before we move on, because I want to, too many times we don't equate our struggle with international struggle. And Clifton is from Nigeria, and I love this brother today. Anything he wants, I am there. We don't relate our struggle to international struggle too often. So I would love for Clifton to share kind of his view on that as well, because he gives us some insights that sometimes we from San Francisco, we from the Bay, don't necessarily have. And we like, oh, you know what? I didn't even think about it like that. So, Brother Cliff, can you share a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think Tony, one of the things that you're talking about is, how is it that a group of men can get together and there not be any strife or conflict or jealousy or anything like that? And the reality of it is, one of the one of the powerful things about the King's Accountability Group is that every single person that is there, even if they're there on that first call, the first thing that they recognize is that everybody is pursuing a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And when everybody has purpose, ego really can't survive, right? Because everyone's really focused on that purpose right there. So, and if you come into the group and you think that you don't have a purpose, or maybe you think you're just going to live by default,
Mm-hmm.
once CB reads that King's Accountability Group mission statement, okay, all of a sudden you realize, wow, there's a purpose in that statement. If I don't know, then I'll ask. I mean, it's a very, very powerful statement. Now, in terms of what Terrell is talking about, yes, we have people from all over, and the different experiences allow for us to really expand as men. To really see each other and really see some of the benefits, and even open up some blind spots. I come from a background where I grew up with very little. I didn't even know. I come from a place where there isn't 24-hour light. So I tend to thrive and see opportunities where someone who may have lived in the light for all along may not see those same opportunities. And I can illuminate for that person. At the same time, that person can also eliminate for me my blind spots and things that I don't have. I can learn from their experiences. I mean, Terrell and I go way back, and to be honest, before I met him, I was living technically by default, just moving on with life until everything crashed. Remember that, Terrell? Everything fell apart and everybody lost everything. And we were literally down to, you're just down to what you have on your back. But the reality of it is, in those moments, the first thing you recognize who your real brothers are. There's no judgment. Everybody came together at that moment, and we started this mantra thing where we committed to having a purpose and not living by default. And that's why I said the most powerful thing about the King's Accountability Group is you don't get to live by default. At least one day a week, you're going to be on purpose. Okay. You're going to have a win for the week. And it forces you to start digging, right? Start looking at what are the positives that are happening in your life. And it's not that everything is always positive. Some people will come with what many may perceive as a negative thing, but a lot of times it's not even a negative thing. That's the whole point. You don't have to come in with this great win or this great accomplishment. You can come in with a struggle and know that you're surrounded with love. You're surrounded with people who are itching to help you get through that, to get past that. So you don't have anything, you're in a completely safe place as men. And if you think about men historically, especially Black men, where else or what else have you ever seen where Black men can come and actually feel safe to share our struggles, to share our difficulties, to be vulnerable, and have other men, instead of pushing you down, lift you up to the point to where you get to be able to excel? That's what the King's Accountability Group does, and that's why it's so magnetic. And we give people 3 opportunities to hang out with us and see how it feels. And the ones who get it stick around. The ones who are not really sure about it, they may not stick around, but I can guarantee you they're not going to forget that feeling that they had, and not going to forget that brotherhood feeling, because we've had people disappear. And then after some time, they came right back, right? Because they recognize that in this group, it's just a different energy. It's more about it's more about the man's growth. And, just like my grandfather used to say, if you get the man correct, if you get the man correct, you can get the world correct. And it's starting right here in the King's Accountability Group.
Now, is there an age group that these men can? Do you have to be a certain age to join?
No, that's a great question. So we've had our youngest young man that was around was 11 years old. Okay.
Oh.
We noticed that sometimes the conversation is probably good for 14 to 16. So we
Okay.
don't have an age group because of the maturity level. But once we can recognize a young man that has an interest in bettering himself, wanting to achieve goals, this may be a great place for they to be. Now, we don't tell everybody to join us because the reality is we can't take everybody.
Mhm.
However, the motto that we're saying is look, the goal is to get around like minded individuals, that is, being the best version of themselves, creating projects and impact in the community. If I was to count the number of projects that each and every one of us are doing in the group, I would say we're probably at about 25 to 30. So the Kings itself do not have major projects that we're working on because we just became a 501c. So we've been doing things together as a project or involving ourselves in things that currently exist, whether it's school supplies, whether it's King's Conference, whether it's girls empowerment. Like right now, we see things that are working. So whatever we can do to add value in things that are working, then most of us are likely to contribute. Brother Victor gives an annual financial literacy with some of the brothers that are in the group. Brother Vic, can you share that?
Yes, sir. So my company has has an event called Create Your Future Self Youth Program, and it's a annual summer event that we put together to teach kids about credit, financial literacy, and real estate investing. We want to teach these kids how to become owners. And so I had the opportunity to partner with CB. He does DISC assessments, which are personality assessments for those of you that don't know, and also with T-Top, who did the health part of it. And so we merged and did something there. I mean, like Terrell said, we haven't done a youth event as King's Accountability yet, but each of us in different ways have impacted our community. We touch these youth. We understand the power of working through our young people to, create that better future. And so great things are on the way, but absolutely, this is something that I started that Create Your Future Self program out of the Sunday groups the Sunday calls I was having with these guys, and was like, you know what? It's got to be a better way that I can impact these young people in my community. I live in Dallas, Texas now. And so instead of just being a real estate investor, building my own portfolio, let's teach these kids how to start building and buying back their community as well. So I'm sure there's going to be some big things coming from this organization as a whole to help out our young people.
Hey,
Especially,
can I follow up on that real quick?
Absolutely. Go ahead, T.
So back to follow up with Vic saying, basically, Living Proof 365, I created something similar to the King's Accountability for the youth in San Francisco for some of the kids. And we went off of our structure that we used to go off of, which is our 4 quadrants, which was spirit, hustle, the bag, and health. And with these gentlemen, we had them, do this weekly. We met on the Thursday calls weekly and had them create mantras. And basically, they all going to school and in college. One about to graduate pretty soon. So we do some youth stuff. And also, we've been inspired with my brother Rich. We've been doing community work as well. So it's a lot of community stuff going on through here that's funneled through the King's Accountability Group that can't be done without these mantras, without this structure, without this team of networking.
This is all so wonderful. But this is what I got a question. I got so many questions, y'all. But this is what I want to know. I heard you say that all of these men come into this place because they have like-minded, they have like-mindeds, right? But what if a man was to come and he didn't have it together? He didn't have a business. He didn't have a plan. He didn't know if he was going or coming. How do you justify that, King? Like, what does that look like?
Let me speak on that one, T.
Yeah. Go ahead, CB. Go ahead.
So we provide a structure for them to see in all of us and also to follow. Like T-Top just said, we have our 4 quadrants. We have a yearly goal sheet that we fill out. That's our goals. It may be about helping the youth or whatever it is. It depends. And it's a spirit. What are you doing with your spirit? I mean, are you religious? Are you praying? Do you do meditation?
But
Take a look around
CB,
it. Yeah.
my name is David. I don't have no spiritual background.
Yeah.
I ain't got no goals. I don't know what none of that is, man.
Yep. So
I just want to brother, but I don't have that.
So this is what we're gonna do. I want to invite you to listen in. I want you to hear this. I want you to feel what's going on, and I don't want you to say anything. Matter of fact, you're on mute for 3 weeks straight. And after that time frame, Dave, I want you to tell me what you think, and then you make a decision. And that's how we bring brothers in.
Just show up. Just show
CB,
up.
let me add to that. Let's say David. You David. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm David. What's up, bro?
You David. You off the hook. Somebody on this call gonna be your magnet. It's gonna be your polar attraction. They gonna either see it in you or you gonna see it in something about like we do. I compliment all my brothers. Cliff looking dapper. You know what I mean? I will tell you later, Cliff. I'm gonna tell you on the show, man. You looking real good, brother.
Thank you,
That's
brother.
a polar. It's an attraction. I love how that man look. That's inspiring. I wish I could look like that and have those muscles. I tell him that all the time. But by doing that, maybe me and Cliff will connect off the call. It's like the stock market. More goes down in the stock market off hours than during the exchange hours. So why the rates change the next morning. You don't know why. So his brothers, it's 40-something of us. And many on hold waiting to get on. You're not going to tell me there's not going to be a magnetic attraction to one of these men as a brother. Because you're going to see something about that brother you just admire. All of us have a mentor. I grew up like in Cats Up by Virgos. I can name them by heart because I still emulate and dress and move like them to this day. Most don't even know they was my heroes. And I got a father, a good one. But I still had mentors and heroes outside of my home. So you got 40-something kings. You're going to find a hero. Not say you idolize me or look up to me, but it's something about me that you admire and appreciate. And in return, them off our phone conversations, not the Sunday morning, the Thursday night. Just a text. What's up, my guy? You good?
The checkup.
Yeah.
That's
Additionally,
where that David finds his way, because now David might not feel comfortable in the group because David can't speak for 3 weeks. Remind you.
Yeah.
But David can talk to me anytime he wants, and now David is more honest. Now David's like, man, going through it. I'm like, David.
So you show the visual, and then you give the assignment to be disciplined. And then David sits there and he takes it in. He's getting fed, right? And then he decides if he wants to digest it or if he just want to.
Well, David is looking at a blueprint that has been seasoned and matured.
There you go.
So we don't come in perfect. And in fact, we know that we are not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're doing, when you take the characteristics of all of the brothers that are on the call in some form of fashion, the values and the principles that they embody, wanting to be a great husband. I've been with my wife for over 20 years. CB has been with his wife for over 20 years. Many of us have good standing relationships. We had a new guy come on and he was just inducted, and he said, wow, to see men talk about their wives in such a loving fashion, like I have role models that I can look at. Top and his wife are role models for me and my wife, right? CB and his wife are role models. Clifton, Vic, and their wives are role models of being a better husband man and provider for our families. So when you're sitting in for 3 weeks, you're sitting in patiently, which is hard for a man to do, especially when he want to come in and take over. Just the natural element of a lion. A king wants to show his dominance. But when they are okay and acceptance to say, look, here's my goal. I've done some good things, but I also have some blind spots and I have some triggers in my own life. And look, we start the call off saying, this is a reminder. This is a safe and non-judgmental zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need for y'all to start criticizing me. If you are a good brother, you will share something that will help me, or you may take me offline, which many of us do, to help us become better or course correct us in some form of fashion.
So thank you for that, Terrell. But for that 3 weeks while David is silent, is he getting like visits?
I
Like,
got
is
this one.
someone going to
Got-
see him and hug him and feeding him? And, what does that look like?
So the first thing is David got there because somebody sponsored him. Somebody invited him in. Somebody saw that he was going through something, or he would be a good person to observe this environment. That person in those 3 weeks should be still constantly communicate. Hey man, what you immediately after the call? Hey, what you think of that? At least that's how most of us have handled it. And then it's kind of, do you see him next Sunday? Okay, he came back. Usually his defenses are now down. He's kind of observing. He may not even be on camera, but the sponsor is holding that person accountable during that 3-week period. And it may be, again, like Rich says, somebody may have kind of connected with that brother through something that was said from another guy. Maybe there was something in the chat. Somebody private chatted like, hey, man, I heard you say this or that. Can I reach out to you? And then there's another bond that's happening outside of the call. This is not for show. This is real deal. This is something that you feel it. And unless you are not human, you just just like you're feeling right now. This is your first time hearing about all this. How you think some of these brothers that have been going through this and that and the third are sitting in like, I can't believe this, whether they say it or not. And then again, that sponsor should be holding them accountable. And by the time you're in 3 weeks, man, it's just you ready to start talking about what you have done just that 3-week period.
Yeah. And the key word, guys, is accountability. It's in our name.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you say you want to do. Not what Rich tells me he thinks I should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I say, this is my goal, and this is what I want to do. I'll share this with you. I opened my mouth a week and a half ago, and I said, I'm going to start working out. Oh my goodness. I got the phone calls. I have to send video to T-Top because he's the fitness trainer. He wants to make sure that I'm doing it. He's making sure he's holding me accountable for what I said I was going to do. I wasn't just blowing smoke up people's butts. So be careful what you say.
I love that, CB. I love it.
Top had a comment, and then John had a great question that I would like to address.
Well, I just had a comment for David. One of the great things about this community is that everybody in this community have seen the signs. So if somebody comes in and they got a certain vibe about themselves, we definitely gonna talk about it, and we're gonna reach out. Everybody gonna reach out to them. Somebody who specializes. Not saying we all doctors and specialists, but we all got our niche. And if we see it, we gonna address it. We gonna attack it. We done been there, done that. So if I see you creeping, I'm gonna see what's going on with you.
And the reality of it is that the person that invited you to the group had to have seen something in you that and felt like you would benefit from it. That's why they asked you there. Because if you're going to be a detriment to the group, more than likely they wouldn't have invited you.
Yeah.
Right.
But they must have cared enough about you and seen something, some seed in you that they believe that the group would help to develop.
Yeah. Now, Tony, John said, what was that question again?
How do you address mental health?
That part.
The biggest.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Because we all have some type of mental health challenges. And I'm saying all of us in a group, some more than others. But I'll give you a prime example because, and I'm not going to get names, but normally, depending on what's going on in their lives, again, we just have a simple blueprint. It works great for some in a fast time. It works for others in a longer period of time. What is that blueprint? First and foremost, we want them to establish a goal, a purpose for their life. You heard it in the mantras. The second thing we do is we walk them and take them through the flight assessment, which is a personal human assessment that understands personalities. So now we're giving awareness to how you naturally operate based on how you grew up. Single parent, environment, whatever it may be. Because what we're looking for are blind spots and triggers. We all have these in us, and sometimes they don't come out. They don't come out until they happen. We just blow up, right? So creating a mantra and understanding your natural human pattern can help you and I now develop a blueprint of where we want to go in life. Then we start talking about establishing routines and systems that will help you and I protect ourselves from ourselves. I'll say that one again.
Ooh, yes, I was just about to say that again.
Right? Because if you and I look at many of our challenges and self-errors, many of it is ourselves. Like we didn't know, or we never set up the proper boundaries or systems that help us have more breakthroughs than breakdowns. Top and I played on city championship teams in Galileo. Our coach would give us a blueprint on how to win. We would run through practice. Did I say practice? Okay, practice to establish a repetition of becoming the very best version of ourselves. When we establish routines and systems, now we are headed towards, not that we're there, we're heading towards becoming better. And if you and I can become 1% better every single day, every single week, there is a compounding effect that we can start improving one another, then our families, then our organizations, then we can start getting more impactful in the communities by establishing better, proper legislations and policies that will help social services that will impact our community.
There you go. There you go.
And you ran past assessment too fast there, Terrell. The assessment is powerful. I've been coaching extreme execution for over 3.5 years now. And I teach my brothers and show my brothers what their natural behaviors are by taking that assessment. And not only learn their own behavior, put tools in place to counter some of the negative behaviors.
That's what I was going to ask you, CB. That's exactly what I was going to ask you.
Also to see other people's behaviors, be able to recognize. I know I just met you today, right, Tony?
Yes.
I bet you are a straight up people person. I bet you that you love to support others. I bet you have great conversation with others. I also bet that at times you have problems with organization and structure.
Ooh, don't be reading me like that, CB.
And when it comes to decisions, you rather not make that first decision.
You better know it.
Well, this is what we teach, and if we know these human behaviors and we understand our own behaviors, not only do we know that 100 about ourselves, we actually know 200 because we know the opposite. So we know how to maneuver within our jobs, within our community, and with each other by using this assessment.
Yeah, and now you can put the right people in places for the roles and responsibilities that are in line with your mind. It's your goal.
Yep.
But if you're using the improper blueprint, you become ineffective and frustrated.
Yeah. It's a protocol. You got to follow the protocol. That's what I'm hearing. Listen,
100%.
Kings, they blowing up my cell phone. They blowing up the chat. They blowing up everything, asking how can they be a part. Are y'all taking any more Kings? Because I know in the beginning you said you have a waiting list. So how you going to expand this bigger? Because they ready.
No, we do have a waiting list, and we can give you guys the link to be able to post up in this thread here for future Kings. But definitely, we are expanding. We are taking new Kings. We just became a 501c, so we're doing a lot of back end.
So Terrell, you've been saying that this whole show, but everybody don't know what that means. So can you break it down for the community, for those of them that don't know that language?
Don't know which language.
The 501c. They may not even know what that means.
100%. I'll give it to CB because he was our head person on that.
So we are officially a nonprofit corporation. That's what a 501c is. Now we can expand. Now we can actually help a bigger audience. Now we can fundraise, provide scholarship. Now we can utilize those goal sheets that each one of these Kings have and bring it together as one organization and help a bigger group of folks now. So we're a nonprofit now.
So they legit community. That's what they're telling you.
100%. And Brother Cliff will post up our website name so that people can have a source of direction to go. But let me I want to wrap it up with this. I don't know how much more time.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up right now so we can go ahead and start with our closing messages. I would really love to hear from each one of you Kings. This has been amazing. Like, I can't wait to go on your website and read more about you. I've already done that, but I want to read more thoroughly. But go ahead and take it away, Terrell.
No, I'm gonna pass it off like the baton first to my brother Cliff, and then Vic.
Yeah, what do you want to hear?
This is our closing show, and everybody is exciting. So whatever closing words that you want to leave the community with, the floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, okay. Well, just a couple of things. I know you guys are asking about our website. Our website is currently in development. So, but it will be kingsaccountabilitygroup.com. If you go there, it's the work is happening in the background. So that will be ready. But I will say this: for the people who are interested or looking to get involved, I will say personally, the King's Accountability Group is a place that you come to if you would to on this and not just operate by default, and you want a group of brothers and kings to support you in that process. That's exactly what it has been for me, and I can speak for a few others as well who that is exactly what it is for them. And ultimately, we would just love to have a wonderful, safe place for Black men to come in and feel like they can excel, but also feel like they can come with whatever challenges and vulnerabilities they have, and have other men that can be able to support them and lift them up.
All right. I am Victor Johnson. I'm not really sure what more we could say about this group that hasn't already been said. So I'm going to tell you about me, victorvjohnson.com. You can visit my page. I'm a coach. I teach people real estate investing, introduce them to that. And then, of course, those folks who are ready to invest in projects, we have 555equityllc.com. But otherwise, we're going to send out that link. We'll share the link to our invite, I guess, CB. Maybe we could drop that in the private chat so they could share that around until the website is ready to go. Thank you for having us, Pretty Tony.
Yeah. Brother Top, Brother Rich, and then CB.
Well, yeah, I'm Brother Top grew up in Fillmore, live in Proof 365, and I just like to say, man, this is a place where you can come, and if you come and show up, don't come in comparing yourself to others. Like I said, there's some powerful brothers on here. There's some brothers that's just doing regular things. Just show up. Don't judge anybody. Just learn. Come with an open mind. Lastly, if you have some youth, reach out to me at livingproof365.com. I'm always interested in helping the youth, especially those, from the inner city. So reach out.
So, Rich, Mr. I Got It Made, man. Follow me on Instagram. Classic car celebration, premiering all the whips from the Bay Area. Whether you got a project car, you triple gold, super big, top blown back. Follow me on the gram. You might see your car on there. So if you didn't know it was me taking in pictures, every picture was taken by me. We do not repost. And I just want to say, you don't need this group to do what you got to do. This group is definitely a great arm to grab if you drown it. But every man is a man regardless. God made you a man. Mm-hmm. When you look in that mirror, I don't care how much pressure you got on you. You a man. And you got the will and the strength and desire to overcome anything. It ain't easy. It don't feel good. But talk to yourself in that mirror. Remind yourself you was born to be great. As God intended your greatness. Can't be what you wasn't made to be.
Brother CB.
Oh, my. I am CB Phillips, and my mantra is I am a child of God, armed with the sword of life. I raise this weapon to support my family and my friends, to conquer my finances, and to grow my business. I hold the grip to stay connected spiritually and to be reminded that good health is fueling this weapon. I am ready for battle. So we have security guards in our group. We have CEOs. We have male nurses. We have real estate mongos. Come as you are. Just be ready to go to work for you. That's what it matters. Be down for you. If you're down for you, you will grow and blossom within this group here. Pass it to T.
All right, there you have it. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, focused, disciplined, and enthusiastic. Tony, John, thank you guys for having us. That background? Who is that? Let's mute that background there.
You know who that is. That's trouble.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's John over there coming in last minute.
Man, last minute. Listen, y'all, Kings, I just want to say, man, I've been listening in and out here. Just proud of the work that y'all doing. The accountability, holding each other up. That's what it's really all about. And definitely, I know y'all growing. I know how this infinite stage is when you coming through that nonprofit window and trying to move forward. But again, anything we could do to help support y'all, anything that we could do to help uplift y'all, partner with y'all, sponsor some stuff. We all in, because that's what we about. King supporting King, Queen supporting Queen. That's what we all about. Y'all got amazing things going. And, I just love to see black men being vulnerable, opening up, speaking their truth. And I think this is what our young folks need to see. So just proud of y'all. I'm sorry I wouldn't be able to be in here tonight, but great show. Rich, T-Top, all my brothers that I know. I'm going to get to meet all you other brothers, man. Y'all some phenomenal brothers. And, just watching all y'all growth, leadership, and understanding, what it takes to not only be a man, but a king, a leader in our community, to our young folks, is just tremendous. So I'm looking forward to working with y'all, man. Reach out. Any support y'all need, let me know, whether it's with y'all website or any network connections y'all need. I got some people to make sure that y'all go and go in that direction, man. Like Tony always say, keep ascending, man. So love y'all, brothers. Don't use
my word.
I will see y'all. I will get y'all back on, and we'll tap in when I'm back, brothers.
Love it. Hey, We want to thank both sides of the conversation and all of you guys. I mean, really, we're a reflection of you guys, right? We're just looking to add value and be and become the very best version of ourselves. So, everybody who's watching, everybody who's listening, the only question that we all need to be asking ourselves is, are you, are me being the very best version of ourselves? And if we're not, what do we need to do to fill in that gap? Rich said, you don't need to be a part of our group. You don't. But you do need to be a part of something that is going to help push you to have more breakthroughs than breakdowns. You need to be in an environment that's going to help push you and hold you accountable to what you said that you want to accomplish. And if you and I can do that, we're moving closer to making ourselves, our families, and our communities better places to live. Thank you, Tony, for having us.
What a great way to end it.
Kings, y'all
I
know
like
what
it.
we do. Y'all know what we do. One,
Line
two,
First
and
of
three.
all, yeah, I got my roar in too because I'm David and Tony. Okay, I have a brother named David, so I had to use his name. But I want to leave with this: like the whole time I was sitting here with you guys, I was just visualizing, and I don't know. I'm a daydreamer as it is, and so I don't know what I was visualizing was true. But all I can tell you is that I just seen love and respect and peace and fellowship and brotherhood. And I just want to say thank you so much, Terrell, for coming on. Thank you, Coach Top. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Clifton. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, CB. You know, thank you all for gracing the stage with your presence and what you're doing. And I'm so proud of you again. And thank you for having this brotherhood. I mean, I have so many people that I want to tell about this organization. So open up that waiting list. Go ahead and keep expanding and make it a 5010 if that even exists. You know, we appreciate you. And like you said, I think it was Rich that said it. It was either Rich or Coach Top. I'm sorry. But again, community. You don't need this platform to be great. And like Terrell said, look yourself in the mirror. I don't have a mantra, but I have something similar to that. And it was you, Terrell, when you gave your mantra, it was just so smooth sailing. So I'm gonna work on mine. And mine is Tony. My name is Tony Rochelle, and I'm a powerful, joyous leader.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna add to my mantra because of y'all.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for coming on this platform. What you say, Terrell?
Oh, and I was just going to say, I appreciate you acknowledging that and accepting that, because whether or not we like it, we're living by something.
Yes.
And we have to get in the driver's seat of our lives.
Ooh, yes.
Clifton has shared with us that he has redrafted, revised his mantra over how many times, Cliff?
Over 100 times.
So we start off in one place and we evolve to another. So be okay with accepting it. The only thing it needs to do is be authentic to you. That's it.
Yes.
So shout out to you, Tony. And again, thank you for having us.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Kings. Community. Oh my God. This was such a hot show. You guys have to come back, and you also have to tune into our ladies show on Sunday. We're going to have the ladies of the both sides of the conversation. And what a great week to have the fellas come on first and then the queens come on next. So it's all divine timing. Community. Going to work is not enough, y'all. I know you're busy. I know you're tired. I know you're overworked, but there's so much more that we need to do in this community. We need to fellowship with one another. Start with an hour. Community, there's opportunity. Let's go, community. Where you at? There's something that you can give. Whatever your talent is, whatever it is that you're good at, we need it. We begging you. Come and volunteer. Please, community, come get connected. You have the opportunity to come support. It's necessary. No excuses. This is our platform. This is our platform, community. Okay? So make sure you use your voices so they can be heard, and make sure that you tap into both sides of the conversation. I'm your co-host, but I was the host tonight. Your girl, Tony Rochelle, aka Pretty Tony. Peace, love, and keep ascending, community, because we in this together. Bye.